It was one of those nights at Harmony Haven, the restaurant that prided itself on exclusivity. The kind of place where the cheapest meal cost more than an average week's paycheck and the waiting list stretched months long. Patrons arrived in designer suits and elegant dresses, their laughter mingling with the soft notes of a live jazz band. Diego, the head waiter, moved through the room with confidence. He was the gatekeeper of this high-end world, making sure every detail was flawless. Tonight, he felt untouchable. Until he walked in. The doors swung open, and in stepped a man dressed in a gray hoodie, oversized sweatpants, and scuffed sneakers. The room seemed to pause as diners exchanged confused glances. Some whispered behind napkins. Diego stopped mid-stride, his brow furrowing. "Can I help you, sir?" Diego said, his voice polite but sharp. The man grinned, adjusting his sunglasses. "Yeah, I got a reservation. Name's Calvin Broadus." Diego's frown deepened. He glanced at the man's attire, then at the list of reservations on his podium. Sure enough, there it was, Calvin Broadus, party of one. "Right this way," Diego said, his tone clipped. As he led the man to a small table near the kitchen doors, Diego couldn't resist a parting remark. "I hope you enjoy our menu. It's not exactly fast food." Diego returned to the kitchen, shaking his head. "You see that guy who just came in?" he said to one of the other servers. "The one dressed like he just came from the gym?" the server asked, stifling a laugh. "Yeah. Apparently, he has a reservation," Diego said. "He ordered the lobster bisque, wagyu steak, and asked for our best bottle of red. That's the $5,000 one, right?" Diego nodded, smirking. "I'm calling it now, he's going to choke when he sees the bill. Probably here to impress someone, but I don't even think he has anyone to impress." As the evening went on, Diego noticed the man wasn't fazed by the luxury around him. He sat back in his chair, enjoying the food, humming along to the jazz band. Diego couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. It wasn't long before other diners began noticing the casually dressed man. Diego spotted a couple at a nearby table leaning in, whispering. Another table glanced over, then quickly looked away when the man smiled in their direction. Diego shrugged it off. Probably just wondering how someone like him got in here, he thought. But then things got stranger. One diner approached the man and asked to shake his hand. A few minutes later, a young couple hesitantly walked up to his table, exchanged a few words, and left smiling like they'd just met a celebrity. Now Diego was curious. He grabbed one of the junior waiters. "What's going on with that guy?" he asked. The junior waiter shrugged. "No idea, but people keep taking pictures of him. Maybe he's some social media influencer." Diego rolled his eyes. "Great. Just what we need. Someone trying to go viral in the middle of dinner service." While clearing a nearby table, Diego overheard a snippet of conversation from the casually dressed man's table. "So, how long have you been in the music industry?" one diner asked him. The man smiled. "Oh, a while. Been doing this for decades. Worked with everyone you can think of." Diego frowned. "Music industry?" He glanced at the man again. There was no way this guy was a musician. Still, the buzz around the room continued. More diners began whispering, glancing, and even snapping pictures. Diego was losing patience. Diego was at the bar when a young woman approached him, practically bouncing with excitement. "Excuse me," she said, pointing toward the man in the hoodie. "Is that Snoop Dogg?" Diego blinked. "Who?" she gasped. "Snoop Dogg. The rapper. You don't recognize him?" Diego's stomach dropped. He turned to look at the man again, and suddenly everything clicked, the sunglasses, the casual confidence, the way people seemed drawn to him. He had spent the entire night treating one of the most famous musicians in the world like a nobody. Diego felt a wave of panic. He grabbed a tray and walked over to the table, his palms sweaty. "Mr. Broadus, I had no idea it was you. I'm so sorry for the way I treated you earlier." Snoop looked up, amused. "Relax, man. It's all good. I kinda liked being treated like a regular dude for once." Diego stammered. "If there's anything I can do to make up for it." Snoop chuckled. "You've done enough. I gotta say, though, you've got guts. Most people fall over themselves trying to impress me. You kept it real. And I respect that." As the night wound down, Snoop stood to leave. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a sleek black card. "Here," he said, handing it to Diego. "I've got a lot of projects going on, restaurants, events, you name it. If you're ever interested in working somewhere where keeping it real pays off, give me a call." Diego stared at the card, stunned. "Thank you, sir. I don't know what to say." "Don't say anything," Snoop said with a grin. "Just think about it." As Snoop walked out, the entire restaurant seemed to buzz with energy. Diego stood frozen, the card still in his hand. In a single night, everything he thought he knew about people, and his own future, had changed. Never judge a book by its cover. Every person you meet has a story, and sometimes, the most unassuming ones are the most extraordinary. Treat everyone with respect, you never know who might change your life.